Okay, they're approximately the same time. I'm going to go with the third one because it seems like that one's gotten the most listens and might be the most organic, I guess. I don't know. So let's just go with the third one. All right, guys. As I start this, give me a little background about this anime and let me know when it was released and who the composer was. And let's do this. Well, maybe it's Yogu Kano, because it says that in the topic there. All right, let's do this. Great pace, great pace. I almost had thought of Les Claypool. Jeez, this is smoking. You know what? I have to admit, I'm learning the difference between music from anime and OSTs only by virtue of understanding what the difference was. Because I didn't know. I knew that anime was shows because I remember as a kid, you know, Kimba the White Lion and Speed Racer and Gigantor and stuff like that. But then I guess some animes have crossed over into video games as well. But what I will say, and you guys help me with this, is that the music compositions in the anime shows are so impactful and so powerful and so well composed. I'm not comparing it to the composers of video games. It's just very energetic, very powerful. In the case of this, the way this opened it up, I was going, oh my God, that's Les Claypool's going off on an anime game or an anime show. If you don't know who Les Claypool is, a very famous bass player. And as I'm listening to the soundtrack, I'm also wondering how long ago, stand by for a second, I want to see how long ago this was uploaded. 3 years ago. I don't know. Also, there's a little bit of compression on the audio files, so I'm hearing a little bit of it almost sounds like tape saturation. But everything about this, it's got totally raw, organic composition and arrangements to it and live instrumentation. And what I love about that is, obviously, there's a different kind of an expression with the arrangements. If you're doing it with a lot of live players and stuff, you actually feel that energy of live performance. But there's some great riffing going on there. You know, I still haven't put my thumb quite yet on the melody yet. I think it's because I'm still kind of enamored with the production. But let's continue on and let's get on back with this thing. A little bit of a Santana vibe there, yeah? big ass dive bombs going on there. I love that sax solo. You know, the saxophone has probably been one of my most impactful influences in my guitar solos. You know, because of the style that, you know, saxophone has a lot of feeling. Obviously, it's breath. It's the power from the lungs coming right through, and all the dynamics that a saxophone player can play can be translated into guitar. But the legato vibe, which is, if you're not a musician, it's, if I was to go legato in a pattern, it might be, but if it was not legato, it was more staccato, it would be. So the legato vibe that, you know, saxophonists, you know, play in their leads and stuff like that is so influential in so many guitar players. But that was beautiful. But once the guitar came in, though, that had the fully laid back sound of kind of a Santana vibe. You know, at the very end, it got a little blazy metal in the rock. You know, so there was a little bit of harmonic pinches going on, some dive bombing going on in there. But through this whole thing, they've kept this kind of funk fusion going. So this is just a rip-in piece for me. Yeah, the bass line just smokes. Oh, the bass! Woo! Everybody, let's do the bass stank face. Oh, there's still more. Wow. I'm sorry, in my head, when I hear stuff like that and they leave it off on a chord that's kind of got these big intervals and stuff, my head automatically went to an arrangement. You know, like if some like other instrument way in the back kind of did a little bit of like a tag out, you know, melody line. God, that was great. That was such a great piece of music. And I just, like I said, I think, you know, there's, if I may be so bold to say, I think one of the things that I am feeling, and you guys will tell me whether I got my head up my wazoo, I think, and it's pretty sure it has to do with the kind of games an individual plays, but I think that video games, anime, and manga, is it manga? This whole journey, this whole fantasy journey of being entertained with these incredible creative shows of animation and music and stuff. Maybe this, I don't know. If you guys come for me in the comments, I get it, but I just feel that the people who are really entrenched in that style of entertainment is makes themselves more exposed to an amazing amount of music from many different genres. And I think one of the reasons why I say that is when I started my heavy metal channel a couple years ago, I was thinking heavy metal and rock, and from Radiohead all the way to the heaviest stuff that I have in there, Septic Flesh, Behemoth, all kinds of stuff. And come to find that there's a really good cross section of even the heavy metal folks that enjoy video games that get turned on to music through the video games. So I don't know. I just think it's a great opportunity. I'm thinking to myself, going like, if you really think about it, like if you're playing Halo as a kid and you're hearing all these beautiful piano arrangements, and then you decide to play Doom, right? Because it's first person. Is that what they call it? First person when you hold the gun and you shoot. So you would have a Halo game with kind of the Marty O'Donnell style of composition, and then you have a Doom game with the Mick Gordon style of composition. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that both of them are your jam. Maybe you're not too hip on the Mick Gordon style of comp. You love Doom, but maybe you turn the volume down or something of that nature. But I just think it opens up just such a broad spectrum for people to experience different kinds of music, and that's what I'm always been about. That's what I've always taught. So.